You can never have enough outdoor party games for the summer, and my collection is missing a tabletop ring toss. I know it's only January, but summer will be here in no time. You want one too? Follow me and lass uns anfangen. This build is rather simple, and you don't need much for it. I started off with some walnut lumber that I had left over from a previous project. Any lumber will do for this project. You could build it out of wood from an old pallet. Possibilities are endless. Let's start off by cutting the pieces to size. I'm using my miter saw.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I.
All the pieces are cut and the project would be ready to assemble. But as always, I wanted to make mine a little different, so I added a CNC pattern in resin. I designed the graphics using Aspire. I really wasn't sure about the design of it. I ended up wanting something like a live edge, kind of oceany feel, so I came up with this. Like always, you can find a design to download for free on my website. I uploaded the graphics to my CNC software. It's all ready to go now. Let's get cutting. And we are done already. I like how the pattern came out. Very simple design. How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. Before I fill in the parts with resin, I like to give it a quick sand. No matter how quick the sanding is, let's put some good music on and have fun with it. Now I'm ready for the resin pour. One of the pieces I'm using for the build has a beautiful knot. I'd like to fill it in with resin. To contain the resin in the knot, I'm using tuck tape. You can totally use a scissor here. Apply pressure to the tape to make sure there are no gaps. Before you start to mix the resin, put some gloves on and have proper ventilation or use a respirator. And like always, I'm using Total Boat tabletop resin. This one is a 1-to-1 mixture. Make sure you measure exactly. And now it's time to mix it. And you know what that means. Resin dance! And this should be enough mixing. To fill the resin into the gaps more accurately without a big mess, I'm using a syringe. For all the products I'm using, you can find a link in the description below. Using a syringe makes the process of getting the resin into every little corner very easy. For the big round circles, I'm just pouring on some resin and then using my finger to spread it. Let the resin dry overnight. It's the next day now, and it's time to sand the piece to remove any excess resin and to give it its final sand to be ready for the finish.
Sobrepasar los límites de tu figura, bajar por tu cuerpo y llevarte a las alturas. Tenerte sería una experiencia religiosa.
I sand it all the way up to 220 grit. It's super silky smooth. To attach the, let's call it a T-post, I chose to use inserts, so the piece can be easily disassembled for storage. Therefore, I drill a hole in the middle of the square that I had cut with the CNC. This hole goes all the way through. Once you drill that hole, use a thicker bit to the same hole you just drilled. This time you only go about 3/4 deep. The hole will accommodate the screw head. Repeat the same step on the top piece of the T-post. Drill a hole centered into the bottom piece of the T-post on both sides. This hole is for the inserts. Screw the inserts into the hole. You want the insert to fit tightly. In my case, I probably could have just widened the hole a bit though. It shouldn't be that hard to get it in, but I made it in the end. Das ist bombenfest. I'm attaching rubber legs so the game doesn't slide around on the table. Pre-drill the holes and then insert the screws. Now attach the top piece of the T-post. And ta-da! Before I attach the rest of the hardware, I'm gonna give it a finish. Wipe on the finish and let it dry overnight. The finish has dried. Now it's time for the last step, attaching the hardware. All the items I'm using are ordered off Amazon. The link is in the description below. And we are fertig! And now it's time what we've all been waiting for. A match. Me against my alter ego.
Baby, I'm not going home with y'all. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continuous support. And if you haven't done so, please leave me a comment, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Tschüss!